So this donkey, the donkey wants to eat the grass. He knows that you don't mind him eating the grass. So all right, it goes around, eats grass, all sorts of dirt, filth, whatever it is, whatever you allow him, it eats, goes on eating all filthy things, all filthy thoughts, all dirty thoughts and every sort of thing, without questioning. You see, only in Sahaja Yoga they come under question, but not when they have to eat filth and dirt and all kinds of unholy things and sinful things. They never question. Then they'll say, what's wrong? But when it comes to Sahaja Yoga, they will question, which is the holiest of holy, which is the greatest of greatest. Only these gates are open to you. That's how you get it. Otherwise, it's not. It's prohibited to all the people to achieve this. The water that washes my feet is the ambrose, is the tirtha, which was even prohibited to doctors in olden days. Vaidyas were not allowed and they had to fight for it. Only the gods were allowed to drink it. Only the gods were allowed to drink it. Today you are placed at the position of gods. But are you capable of that? Are you deserving that? Or you are still questioning? You have still problems? Then it's better you are prohibited. It's a rare thing that you should take that ambrose. It's in the Devi Purana, Bhagavatam, if you read it, they were prohibited to take it. So this is what it is, that the mind goes like a donkey. But if the donkey knows the one who is the rider, knows his ways, and he knows how to control the mind, and he knows where it has to go, the same donkey, the same instruments, the same institutions, the same things you have got around you, will take you there with a faster speed, with a very comfortable thing. So tell your mind today that we have had enough of it. Playing with the mind. Now we want to be there in the realm of God. Tell your mind fully. Tell your mind is important. But this is the mind which has taken you to all kinds of things. It has given you all the filth and dirt and all that. So just tell your mind. May God bless you. So, for today's theme, we should say that we have to achieve our innocence within ourselves and feel the innocence of the Virat. The question of Ganesha Virata, we can say Virat Ganesha, where in the Virat, the innocence we have to feel. So that we become innocent, our sins are washed out, that we are cleansed by that innocence, so that this I-ness is lost from you, this original sin is washed away from us, and we become that beautiful being who is the proud child of God and who is the prize of this creation. May God bless you. Now you can translate the God. It's all right. You can translate. I know it's long, but sometimes I find that if the flow is not kept.
I'm sorry, Mataji, je suis
No, sorry, it's all right. It's all right.
Mataji a dit que c'est la première fois qu'elle est à Vienne, que c'est la première fois qu'elle vient pour le premier
You
anniversaire.
can replay, and in that background you will be able to keep it low, and then you can spontaneously go on saying something. Will it be alright? Replay. That will give you a proper.
I was just thinking 3 minutes for the French and 3 minutes for the Italian in a very condensed manner.
You can?
So, yeah, I can, yes.
Alright.
Mataji said it is the first... Mataji a dit que c'est la première fois qu'elle est à Vienne, que c'est la première fois qu'elle vient au premier anniversaire d'un enfant réalisé, que tout ceci est extrêmement auspicieux et que c'est important. Il y a longtemps qu'elle aurait dû venir à Vienne, un pays qui n'a pas appris des misères de l'histoire, parce que les êtres humains n'apprennent pas de leurs erreurs, malheureusement. Elle a dit ensuite que le premier péché que nous commettons, c'est notre péché contre notre innocence, le péché rapporté dans le livre de la Genèse, et que ce péché est commis parce que c'est l'ego qui se manifeste, et donc que finalement l'ego est le premier péché. C'est également, j'ai oublié de mentionner, la première fois que nous vénérons au pied de Mataji les armes qui sont pour la protection des saints, du bien et pour la destruction du mal, et que toutes ces armes de la déesse sont opératives 24 heures sur 24 heures. Ensuite de quoi, Mataji nous dit qu'il est important maintenant de comprendre qu'il faut être le maître du cheval, ou plutôt de l'âne, l'âne étant notre mental, notre esprit, qui va s'abreuver dans tous les égouts et qui nous descend, et qu'il est important de, cette fois-ci, dire à notre esprit, à notre mental, que c'est nous qui prenons le contrôle de notre être et que désormais il obéisse, parce que le même instrument peut nous conduire plus vite où nous voulons aller, c'est-à-dire vers le soi, ou au contraire il peut nous perdre si nous ne le contrôlons pas. Mataji a encore dit qu'il n'y a pas de Sahaja Yogi protestant, catholique, suisse, hindou, musulman, que Sahaja Yoga est pour les êtres humains tels que Dieu les a créés, et que toutes ces différenciations que nous créons sont comme si nous voulions prendre l'océan infini dans de toutes petites coupes mesquines, et si nous tenons à ces coupes, nous finissons par nous identifier à cette mesquinerie et nous prenons Sahaja Yoga à un niveau très grossier. Donc il faut surmonter toutes ces constructions et ces limitations. De même manière que nous pouvons utiliser notre mental soit pour nous détruire nous-mêmes, soit pour aller plus vite à notre but, ainsi nous pouvons faire de même avec tous les instruments, avec la technologie, avec nos institutions.
In due parole, Madre ha detto che oggi era un giorno molto auspicevole perché è la prima volta che c'è un puja in Austria, in Vienna, è la prima volta anche che Madre ci viene. Poi è la prima volta che Madre sta al compleanno di un bambino Sahaja Yogi e ancora di più al primo compleanno, e anche la prima volta che le armi della Dea vengono venerate, queste armi che allo stesso tempo possono distruggere, o diciamo le armi possono essere utilizzate per distruggere il male oppure per andare anche a proteggere il bene, dunque ci proteggono noi. Nello stesso modo tutte le istituzioni che sono state create, che esistono, sono state create dall'inconscio, e noi dobbiamo utilizzarle per fare il bene e non per fare il male o per aiutare il male. Madre ha anche detto che il primo peccato originale è la distruzione dell'innocenza, che a partire dell'innocenza viene con la distruzione dell'innocenza viene in moto l'ego, e noi dobbiamo chiedere oggi particolarmente di ritrovare questa innocenza per essere i figli forti di Dio e capaci di combattere in questo senso. Madre ha anche detto che dobbiamo renderci conto che il mentale è un asino, che noi dobbiamo essere davanti all'asino, essere il maestro e così facciamo del mentale ciò che vogliamo e non essere né dietro l'asino che allora fa di noi ciò che vuole oppure anche a cavallo sull'asino che anche lui è abbastanza libero. E specialmente a un puja dobbiamo assolutamente controllare l'asino per dirigere questo mentale e impedirgli di andare in un modo sbagliato. Sì, e poi Madre ha detto che oggi dobbiamo dire al nostro mentale, impegnarci di non essere più trascinati da lui, che veramente siamo noi il maestro dell'asino, che dobbiamo annullare dentro di noi tutti i pensieri, tutti i sguardi, tutti i scarti della tensione che non vanno nel senso di Dio, che sono sporchi, e dobbiamo essere i figli fieri di Dio, essere soltanto ricettacoli di purezza.
Many people ask me before also that, Mother, why we became like this? Why didn't God just made us aware of ourselves without committing all these mistakes? And why we had to go through this all vicious circle? At that time, I didn't want to say that you have committed the original sin, that you have disobeyed God, otherwise things would have worked out in a different way, not have been so lengthy. Because if you tell them that, then there's another thing that happens to them is that they become left-sided and they start feeling guilty about the original sin, you see. So we have to jump from ego to original sin part of it. But that part if you avoid, only one can say in the beginning that evolution would not take place without this freedom being given to you. You see, because freedom was first tested. That you were given a freedom, you had a nice place to live in, you lived in the complete protection of God, in the Garden of Eden, you can say the beautiful, everything was wonderful. Nothing was missing there. But despite that, human beings, you see, when they had the freedom, just the freedom was going to be tested, immediately they took to these baser things. You see. And that is the way God had to then change the whole plans, because the baser things of life were attractive, even with all the blessings that they had, all the animosity and we can say all the animal feelings, we can say, were still attractive to human beings, and that's what was most surprising. And when these things happened, naturally the freedom itself had to go through the test of improvement, and that test was all this whole creation of human beings that took place. But to tell them all that it is only the original sin which has created a problem, then they sit down, oh God, why did we create the original sin? So it's better to tell them that it is inevitable for your evolutionary process that your freedom must be tested. Because if you have to enter into the supreme freedom, you must first know whether you can bear it or not. And in seeing that, so it took so many years for human beings to grow into it, to understand that the man cannot bear anything. He cannot bear freedom, he cannot bear money, he cannot bear position, he cannot bear comfort, he cannot bear anything. And that's what now we are seeing in Sahaja Yoga also. When they get comfort, they just settle down again. When they get any blessings of material wealth, it will happen. Because again the same, that Garden of Eden is coming back to you. And when it starts coming back to you, again you go back to the same stage, is not good. Now you must understand that you have to be supreme. So you must master all this. Nothing is important. Nothing is important. Only the spirit is important. Then only you can get out of. This is also can act as a temptation for you. You see, all the blessings that are coming to you are temptations. So you should be prepared. Nothing is more important than the spirit. You see, we are prepared for any kind of thing to achieve the spirit. We are not bothered as to what blessings we get on it. But what we want is the freedom of spirit, which is not hankering after anything, hankering after material things, so that you will be like a lamb which is giving light without getting involved into the lamp itself, whether it is of gold or silver or anything. It can burn the light even if it is made of mud. That's what is to be achieved by surgery, to be understood. Because this is a very precarious stage where I find people are again drifting down.
Mataji a dit que le péché originel a été effectivement commis, mais que pour ne pas que les êtres humains aillent sur le côté gauche, il vaut mieux leur dire qu'en fait, l'existence du mal et de leurs difficultés est le résultat de la liberté qu'ils ont de se tromper, liberté nécessaire pour leur évolution. Elle a encore dit qu'au début de la création, l'homme était vraiment dans le jardin d'Éden, qu'il avait absolument tout, mais que toutes ces bénédictions ne l'ont pas empêché, lorsque sa liberté était testée, d'être subjugué par les instincts plus animaux et de se fixer sur ses avantages, ses séductions matérielles. Et Mataji, de même maintenant que vous êtes béni matériellement, comme par exemple moi ici, il faut que vous fassiez très attention à ne pas revenir au niveau du jardin d'Éden où vous vous perdez dans si vous voulez, où vous vous laissez séduire par ces tentations et que vous perdez de vue que seul l'esprit est important. Mataji dit la lampe, qu'elle soit d'or, d'argent ou d'argile, produit de la lumière et votre attention doit être sur la lumière et non pas sur la forme de la lampe. Mataji a encore dit avant qu'il était très important pour ce puja que les gens qui ont des doutes dans leur esprit soit sortent et quittent le puja, soit disent à leur esprit avant le puja, maintenant ça suffit, c'est moi qui prends c'est moi qui prends les rênes de mon être et qu'on dise à ces doutes maintenant dehors, parce que le puja est quelque chose de très important et si on n'a pas cette attitude, ça peut être plus nocif que positif. C'est une chose que j'ai oublié de vous dire.
Dunque, Madre ha detto che infatti dunque, il peccato originale è stato commesso, soltanto finora non l'ha detto e noi dobbiamo essere anche cauti a chi lo diciamo, perché vanno subito sul lato sinistro e sui left visciudi. Dunque, in questo caso è meglio dire ma Dio vi ha dato la libertà, avevamo bisogno della libertà per fare tutto il processo evoluzionario che avevamo la scelta di affinarci oppure no. In questo senso anche dobbiamo renderci conto che prima nel paradiso, prima che fosse commesso questo peccato originale, avevano tutto perfettamente, però lo stesso sono stati attratti da cose basse e da istinti animali, è ciò che ha provocato questo peccato originale. Dunque adesso che noi Sahaja Yogi stiamo ricevendo tante benedizioni sia materiali e per tutto, la famiglia eccetera, dobbiamo essere molto attenti di non ricadere in questa tentazione di perdere la libertà, la nostra libertà dello spirito per riattaccarci a queste cose. Dunque dobbiamo pensare che siamo come la luce, è uguale se la lampada attorno alla luce è d'oro, d'argento o anche di argilla, e la luce dello spirito, la libertà totale dello spirito per evitare di ricadere come agli inizi. E poi ciò che Grégoire ha ripetuto, che Madre aveva detto prima, è molto importante, prima di venire in puja, di non avere più dubbi, di essere in nirvikalpa, oppure di far tacere la mente con fermezza assoluta, perché altrimenti invece di ricevere tanti vantaggi del puja ci può fare del male. E a Madre come Madre le dispiacerebbe che noi ricadiamo dopo un puja che non è lo scopo.
So now we have to humble down ourselves. To say, I have not known anything, Mother, so far, I have to know. Because this is the knowledge of the root, which you do not know. This is a new knowledge for you. What can you question about? You don't know anything. You have to know about the knowledge of the root. So humble down yourself, and then only you will receive the blessings of this new growth. That is the growth that is inward inside, the Antar Yoga. Unless and until you humble down, it won't work out. You have to humble down. Because as soon as you start asking questions, it's your ego that's asking questions. So humble down to grow into it and to go further with the knowledge of the roots. It is surprising that in India only this knowledge has been really sought after, and people have gone very deep down. That's why every one of them had to come to India. Even Christ came to India to know about how people are searching it out, to support them, to help them. So it is important that the knowledge of the root has to be done in the area where it is more possible. It is easier to do where the roots are not disturbed. And that's what was the country, India, where people searched it out. But when they started going out again, they become stupid and foolish. And when we see them they're outside. But we don't see what tremendous work seers have put in it. Tremendous. I mean, you take one of them and it's sufficient to give you full idea of surgery. You take a simple person, a very simple person like, say, Sainath, who was, to look at, very simple. But what tremendous ocean of knowledge he had, who was not educated or anything. Nobody knows where he was born, what happened, from where he came and where he lived and how he came up to that age. No one knows about his background. Or you take Adi Shankaracharya, or you can take Kabira, or anyone. For example, you take Machindranath. If you read about Machindranath, you won't know. You think it's some sort of a mysterious knowledge he's giving. It's a tremendous work. They went into all the left and the right and everything they did. All kinds of experimentations. If you see the books they have written about Navnath, the 9 Nathas, and about Machindra's life, Machindranath went into such depth and he found out so much about the places where women were rulers. I think must be the Belgian place. He must have been. Where women were the rulers and husbands were just like cabbages and this and that, and all kinds of things he discovered. And then what happened and how he tried to cure that. It's the movement in another direction, you see, in the root direction, that how these roots have gone and given rise to such horrible trees here and there, and that's how he worked out. And it's such a symbolic thing that to understand their birth, you have to be really very deep and very penetrating, for which human mind so far is not able to see the amount of work they have done. It's not possible to see. Like if you see Adi Shankaracharya's descriptions, or that even Markandeya's descriptions about your mother, is remarkable. How little things he could see, from where, from what angle, and every little bit of mother he could see as a child would see. You see, absolutely close to the mother. That means the innocence was complete and perfected. Otherwise you can't see these points that they have seen, all the little things like the 3 folds of the mother. How can anyone see? But a child can see that 3 folds of the mothers are there, that she has 3 folds in her body. Only a child can see that. It's tremendous, I tell you. It's tremendous. Their innocence and their penetration and their courage. You need real courage to go into that penetration. So innocence is the thing which one has to achieve first of all. But it should not be like this through Christ or through Ganesha. It should be you who should have it. Once you are the innocence, you don't have to say that. You don't have to come to through someone. You are that. You just directly can ask. That business is meant for people who are not realized, meant for people who are stupid, meant for people who cannot directly attain. You all can directly attain it. That is your blessing. That's the greatest thing, that you can directly achieve all that. But you have to get to that position of innocence by which you become so subtle, so sukshma, because innocence is the subtlest thing, that you enter into all the areas to know the knowledge of the roots, knowledge of the tree of life. And it's not meant for the stupid, egoistical, nonsensical people. They become Rakshasas, actually they are Rakshasas. So we are not going to go their way. We have to go the other way around. So we have to humble down within ourselves and try to awaken your innocence. Once that is the holy innocence, that pavitra innocence within you. In Sanskrit language, there is no word for innocence. You'll be surprised. Because for them, whatever is holy, auspicious, everything is innocence. There is no word separate for innocence. Because they can't think that there can be innocence existing in the air like that. It has to be inside something. You see, it is always sort of a cup can only contain the water like that. So they cannot think, we cannot think of water hanging in the air like that, you see. It has to have some cup. So they will say auspicious time, auspicious person, or auspicious things, auspicious night, auspicious day. Everything is contained, container, like a container. The container that can have innocence, you see. So the auspiciousness, again, is auspicious, it's an adjective. There is nothing like saying that this is a solid innocence, Shubha. Shubha itself is an adjective. There is no noun for innocence. Innocent it can be, but innocence itself doesn't exist for them because it exists everywhere that is innocent. It's such a wider idea, it's the wider idea of the Virat Ganesha. When he is in the whole of Virata, how can you put him down in a sense? It's so much subtle. It's too subtle to be made into a noun. It's too subtle a thing. And we have to become that subtle.